But yeah. So when we get this sold out, it's like a whole new world. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Well, I mean, that's the whole point of this whole thing is to be a whole new world.
Right.
But yeah, thanks for coming back. The first 3 weeks are down. We're in week 4. It's World War III up first. Before you tell us what happened, can you give me a couple pieces of paper up there?
Yeah,
Those are some helpful things I had to jot down. So yeah, go ahead and tell us all about World War III, Josiah.
Well, here's what went down. You got the J Crown title match. You got my man Ultimo Dragon. Of course, Sonny Ono, because Sonny Ono's always there.
He's a big part of this here retrospective. Retro, whatever. This trip down memory lane.
That's a good way to put it. He defeated Rey Mysterio Jr. in a match I'm sure was a banger.
Oh, I love both of those guys. I don't know how you couldn't like them both. Ultimo Dragon really suffered in his time in WWE, but his whole run in WCW, he was one of the all-time best, cruiserweight, junior heavyweight, whatever, light heavyweight folks. I strongly wish that I could go back in time and rebook him with New York.
Oh, man, that would be lovely. Yeah, especially since, because every time I think Ultimo Dragon, you always think that picture with him with the 90,000.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, a mutual friend of ours, he thought Kenny Omega, and don't get me wrong, Kenny Omega did look cool.
Oh, yeah.
But he thought Kenny Omega looked cool with
his 3 belts.
With his
four
exactly.
belts.
So with his 4 straps, and I was like, oh, you think that's good? Check this out.
And said, look at this picture. Is it who I'm thinking of?
It's Ahmed.
Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't want to say his name.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
it's his name. Huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, shout out to Ahmed.
What's up, big guy? All right, next up we have the Jericho has one arm tied behind his back match. You remember the story for that?
So, this is around the time that he believes everyone is against him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so, if you're believes everything's a conspiracy, then you're probably going to fall into the trap of, I can beat you with one arm tied behind my back kind of a gimmick.
Yeah, I always love it when they take that seriously. Blindfolded, too. Those are always my favorites. Well, Jericho, in this case, was right. Defeated Nick Patrick. Of course, he had Teddy Long by his side.
Well, and Nick Patrick's a referee, so of course he can take him down.
Yeah, trust me, I remember Nick Patrick. Poor guy. I don't know why he wrestled Jericho. Let's see. Singles match, you had the Giant defeating Jeff Jarrett, as you do. You got the tag team match, you got Harlem Heat with, of course, Sister Sherry, defeating the amazing French Canadians, Carl Ouellet and Jacques Rougeau.
Do you know who Carl Ouellet is?
PCO?
It's PCO!
Oh, my God. Yeah, because I saw old pictures of him. I'm like, who the heck is this guy?
Yeah.
Man, because he got bigger, wider, and, one less eye.
Yeah. Oh, he always only had one eye.
Did he always only have one eye? I thought that was an accident.
No, so check this out. So when he had the pirate gimmick against Bret Hart, that's the reason he had the pirate gimmick, because he only had the one eye.
Really?
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
And you gotta, imagine this is your whole world. Like, only got one. I was like, whew. Wow. Good job, PCO.
Imagine wrestling.
I know.
Oh, my God. Man,
wrestling ain't easy.
Yeah, no, I have so much respect for PCO, for sure. Former ROH World Champion.
I never, right?
Let's see. Oh, sorry. They came out with Colonel Robert Parker.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to mention. Then Sister Sari apparently had her own match where she defeated Colonel Robert Parker. I count out in a minute and 30 seconds. It's a W on WCW pay-per-view nonetheless. That's what the people paid their money for. Let's see. Next up, this is what they really paid their money for. WCW World Cruiserweight title match. Dean Malenko defeats Psychosis.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
ECW all day.
ECW. Let's see.
This is off topic and not World War III, but one of the things that WWE got caught hell for when they relaunched ECW was that they didn't have a bunch of table ladders and chairs and gimmick matches. But a lot of people complained about that. I swear I didn't watch original ECW in its entirety because Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, Psychosis, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero yet? Eddie Guerrero, Perry Saint.
Just shows you how stacked that roster was.
And so,
don't mention Eddie Guerrero.
I know, right? And these guys, they weren't like New Jack with the fork and
with the most extreme example.
I'm just saying Sabu and tables and all these guys and the gimmicks. Don't get me wrong, they had plenty of gimmick guys, but original ECW had good quality wrestling.
Because you have to have variety, because if you just have extreme stuff all the time, you're CZW.
Well, and in my mind, if everything's extreme, nothing stands out.
Right.
And so and I love the word variety. If you have variety, then it gives you different flavors as the show goes on. Exactly. Sorry to interrupt, but I just...
No, you're spot on. Listen, you didn't see me denying anything.
Like, ECW was so good at wrestling that Paul Heyman got Kurt Angle to come to a show. Yeah. To try and convince him to wrestle there. It turns out,
of course, Sandman got crucified.
I was about to say, the same show turned him off and made him run away, but, hey, it is what it is.
Hey, listen,
ECW.
You know how it is. All right, let's see. Next up, you got your WCW World Tag Team Triangle match, title match. So, of course, the Outsiders defeat the Faces of Fear, which is Ming and the Barbarian, and the Nasty Boys.
I've already complained about this triangle match. I hate this concept. ECW, I know I keep talking about ECW, but ECW already did the three-way dance. Just rip them off. They did it right. Don't care to steal their talent, just steal their concepts too. Oh my goodness.
My God. And then, of course, it's World War III, so you got your 60-man Battle Royal. I'm not reading all these dang names.
Yeah, don't do it. That's fine.
Just know the Giant won. Mm-hmm. End of story.
Well, now that the truth, or the fact has come to pass, let's go down the route of fiction. So, the first things first, I'm getting rid of that triangle damned tag title match. I hate that stupid thing. Stop doing that, WCW. Damn. Whew. Now that that's out of the way, I'm not changing anything else in the show. The rest of the show was thumbs up. I was bragging about it. Psychosis and Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio and Ultimo Dragon. That's a good show. But here's the biggest thing that I'm doing. If you remember from last show, there were only 6 members of the new World Order. There was Big Daddy Cool, the bad guy, the $1 trillion man Ted DiBiase, Vincent, Six, and Hollywood Hogan. That's it. There are only 6 members of the NWO. But realistically, Vincent and Trillionaire Ted don't really wrestle, and Hogan's not at this show. So tonight, within World War III, WCW, the powers that be within WCW think they have a really nifty idea. They said to themselves, we're booking Scott Hall to be in, well, let's do it this way. Let's read left to right like people do here in the United States. They said Six is in ring number 1. They said Kevin Nash is in ring number 2, and Scott Hall is in ring number 3. That way, these NWOites cannot work together.
NWOites are like that.
and so as the match goes on, I'm not going to list I did at one point list everybody in the match, but we don't need to.
But way too many people.
Yeah, there are 60 guys. It's fine. We're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 in ring 1. 7 in ring 2, and 7 in ring 3. So 6 guys are in Six's ring, 7 guys are in Nash's ring, and 7 guys are in Hall's ring. And at this point in the match, Six, Kevin, and Scott all do this in the ring. They throw up the signal that they're in the Wolfpack, that they are the outsiders, that this is NWO country. And at that point, in Six's ring, Jeff Jarrett, Michael Wall Street, and Jerry Sags mirror them. And in Six's ring, there are only 2 guys who aren't throwing it up. That's Booker T, who was in the main event of the match where Hogan turned.
There you go.
So it's Booker T and Jim Duggan, the only 2 guys not in that are in Six's ring, not in the NWO. And oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? Now it's we were wrong. We thought we were smart. WCW was like, oh, we booked it so that these guys can't cheat, and here they are. But that's not all. In ring number 2, when all 3 of the NWO throw up the symbol, Eddie Guerrero, Diamond Dallas Page are in the ring, and they're surrounded by PCO, Carl Ouellette, Jacques Rougeau, Rick Steiner, and Brian Knobbs. They are on the same side as Kevin Nash. What are Page and Guerrero going to do? Too much. But we're still not done yet, because in Scott Hall's ring, The only men not holding up the symbol that they're on the side of the NWO are the Giant and Rey Mysterio. Junior, exactly. Because the rest of the members of the ring, Ming, the Barbarian, Big Bubba Rogers, and Lex Luger. Lex Luger, the man who's been attacked pay-per-view after pay-per-view by the NWO, is on their side. But I say attacked in quotation marks because the next night on Nitro we'll find out that was all just... It was all a lie. It was all to get to this moment because the NWO were so smart. That's also why that on the build-up to this show, this episode, I have clearly been keeping all or as many ex-WWF guys away from the NWO as possible because in this moment, on this night, is when the NWO becomes full strength or more or stronger than it was before.
Their true body.
Exactly, their true body. I love that. That's great. So, instead of the Giant winning in this version of World War III like he does or did in the real world, the winner of this World War III is Scott Hall.
Yes.
Yep.
So
that's my guy.
So the next night on Nitro, we got Six and Nash. They introduced the winner of World War III, Scott Hall. Makes sense. And as Hall is making his way to the ring,
he gets a beer thrown at him, slicks it back, slick back his hair.
So he says that he couldn't have done it on his own, and that's when he brings out the new members, and then in this moment on this episode of Nitro is when Lex says how that, hey, we fooled all of you. I fooled Sting. Sting, he thought I had it.
Gullible sucker.
It's a way. So many times you hear people say, "Oh, the NWO's too big." Well, it was big, but to me the problem wasn't its size, but the illogic of who was in it.
You mean everybody and their mom?
Well, Buff Bagwell, Scott Norton, the Giant.
In Buff Bagwell's case, literally everyone in his mom.
So all these people who had no ties to up north, as they would say in storyline, all these people that were homegrown WCW talents are joining up to kill WCW. No, not in my world, not in this timeline. Here, everybody who joins makes sense. So this World War III is very important, and November the 24th of 1996, it will be a day that lives in infamy for pro wrestling in this booking.
Beautiful. I gotta say, so just listening to you explain all that, right?
Yes.
What the World War III matches had to be a cluster.
I drew it out. Oh, it was, and it was so badly shot. So like, anybody who wants to say, "Oh, wrestling is this or wrestling is that," now is so good when you watch it. Like, they've understood. Whether it's NXT or AEW, they're like, okay, we had 2 rings. There's a lot of chaos. Whether it's War Games or Blood and Guts, they're like, or even that thing they did. Arena. Well, that too. But they recently did a thing on Rampage called the Rampage Rumble.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
And it was as close as we've gotten in the modern day to World War III. Now, granted, it was 2 rings instead of 3, but it's still the production values of the now,
so much better.
It's so enjoyable. Whereas back then, they had all these little picture-in-pictures, and it was like hard to see Jack until you got down to like the final few. And that's why I wait until there are only a handful of guys in each ring.
In order to shoot your shot on that one.
Yeah.
Now, because don't get me wrong, it sounds great, but I'm just picturing how that would look on camera.
Well, so in my mind, the Giant really helps, or really helps a lot being in his ring because he's able to get rid of Ming or Barbarian or Bubba. Ray gets toppled by Luger, but Sting and Giant and Luger, they take each other out. That saves Scott Hall to win. Over on Ring 2, I could totally see Page diamond cuttering Knobs, easy peasy. Eddie throws him out. I could see Ouellette and Rougeau both going after Guerrero. He leaps them, they tumble out. But Nash, he gets Eddie out, and so now it's Jacques Rouge or
5 moves.
Yeah, and so I would have Nash step out on his own, powerbomb Page on the outside, just because he knows he's not winning. He's giving it to Scott. But yeah, you can be when shooting if you
do it right.
If you eliminate the people from the rings and then focus on the next one and the next, I think that it can be done better. Thankfully,
Also,
they
so when
don't do many more of these matches.
Thank God. So when you're down to one person in each ring, do they just go to one ring?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, at least with AEWs, it was smashed together, so they literally could just step over.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All
All right, let's go to Starrcade. The last show of 1996. It's a booming year for both companies, honestly, in 96. But yeah, 12/29 of 1996.
All right. Well, of course, it's Ultimate Dragon, so 7 titles are on the line here. So you got the WCW World Cruiserweight title match / J Crown title match. Ultimate Dragon wins/retains with Sonny Ono defeating Dean Malenko.
Mm-hmm.
Big title change. Man, almost a 20-minute match. Oh, that must have been amazing.
Oh, great talents.
Man, beautiful.
It's a very New Japan.
Yeah.
I know I'm attributing every good match to different companies. Sorry, WCW. You had good people.
Every long
And
good
they had good taste, I will say that.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was about to say, they said, let's get Ultimo Dragon and who we got? Dean Malenko. Yeah, let's do that. I don't know whose idea that was, but great work. Let's see, you got your WCW Women's World Title. I forgot there was a Women's World Title.
You know something that's crazy about that? Oh, well, I'll wait till you say what was going on in the match before I tell you what I think is crazy about it.
Yep. So you got Akira
Hokuto.
Yep. With Kensuke Sasaki and Sonny Ono
Every time.
My God. They defeated.
Do you know why he's out there all the time?
Because he's Japanese?
No. Because he grew up with, not grew up, but he was buddies with Eric Bischoff, and Bischoff's running the show.
Right, okay.
So they did a, before either one of them were in wrestling, they did this fun little infomercial thing where they were selling ninja stars to kids. This is, it was crazy. This is actually what got Bischoff into the wrestling business, because he sold advertising to Vern Gagne's AWA.
Really?
Yeah. And so, anyway, it's funny, but it's just that him and Bischoff are longtime friends is why he's always here.
You know, I always thought Sonny Ono was just a big Japanese wrestling fan, but it makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, it was him and Bischoff's close relationship that got him here.
Gotcha. Well, Medusa, after throwing the belt in the bin.
Oh, that was WWF's belt.
Yep.
Yep.
Besides, I don't need another women's world title besides lose the match.
And that's what I was gonna say. She literally threw the other company's belt in the title, but they never in the trash, and they never gave her the title. It's so funny. And they had 2 women's titles. They had a heavyweight and a cruiserweight, and she never won either one of them.
How does that?
It made no sense. It was illogical. Don't ask questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Learn my lesson there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Next up. Oh my God! It's Jushin Thunder Liger versus Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
That match must have been beautiful.
Oh yeah. It actually got cut from 2K22.
What?
Yeah, they were gonna have Liger in the game, but they couldn't get him to agree to the deal, so they cut the match from the showcase and just made Rey's attire as a bonus.
WWE should have asked harder.
I know, right?
And more money.
Actually, what they should have done is said, Lord Stephen Regal, can you please call up your friend?
I'm about to say, please
Liger?
call your friend and make him agree.
Exactly.
Man, I want to go watch this match. I'm probably gonna go watch. It's
totally worth it. Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Liger wins. Then you got a no disqualification match. You got Jeff Jarrett defeating Chris Benoit, who also had a woman in his corner. Let's see. You got the WCW World Tag Team Title match. You got the Outsiders with 6, of course, defeating the Faces of Fear. So Ming Barbarian with Jimmy Hart. U.S. title match. U.S. Heavyweight Title Tournament Final match. It's too long. They need to shorten that. Well, needed to. Eddie Guerrero defeats Diamond Dallas Page, huge new champion. Crowd goes wild, I'm sure. And then, let's see. Next up, you got a Luger singles match, whatever. Luger defeats the Giant. You got a non-title match with Roddy Piper defeating Hogan. Wait, what? Oh, it's non-title. Okay. I was really confused for a second. Like, wait, Hogan lost? Okay. And then, is that it? That's it.
So, in my version of Starrcade, the main event will be 3 versus 3 because it was so good at Bash to the Beach. It made sense. It makes sense to emphasize what was your big moment in time on your biggest show of the year. So, here it'll be. Okay, yeah. So Hall and Hogan build the team for the NWO side. because they are the two guys who are going to fight each other because Hall winning World War III makes him the number one contender for the title.
Okay, yeah.
And Hogan, he's Hogan, so it don't work for me, brother. He ain't in the match.
I can't believe it. Hogan politics his way out of the match. That's crazy.
So the deal with this 3-on-3 main event match, though, is that if Team NWO win, they get next month's pay-per-view to show the world, and more importantly, World Championship Wrestling, how better the world would be if they were the ones in charge.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because the whole idea of the NWO was, we're taking over. And so it is Team NWO of Kevin Nash, Lex Luger, and Rick Steiner versus Team WCW, The Giant, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and Scott Steiner. This is the moment when Scott turns and joins the NWO because why wouldn't he? Him and his brother are brothers, and they're both ex-WWF Tag Team Champions, so it just makes good, logical, common sense that in the main event you will have Scotty, who has the dark hair and the dark goatee, turn and join with his brother. And then the next night is when you debut what they called White Lightning at first, but then eventually he became Big Pop Pump, which was way better.
I completely forgot about White Lightning.
I know it wasn't good. I'm not saying we don't have to do that, but I'm just saying that was the evolution of the character.
Oh boy! All right.
So now that we've got the main event out of the way, and clearly NWO is going over because of Scotty, and more importantly because, as we all know, the January. Well, anybody who knows that the January pay-per-view was already an NWO show. Thus, let's give them a good dang reason for having it instead of just ta-da!
Doing it for fun.
Yeah. So, in my version of Starrcade, we open with Dean and Dragon. Of course we do. Why wouldn't you?
Yep.
Hokuto and Medusa? Sure. Thumbs up. Let's go for it. Liger Mysterio? Yeah, why not? Jarrett Benoit? Sure. But here's where the changes start coming, though.
Right.
So, for me, instead of having Diamond Dallas Page versus Eddie Guerrero for the United States Championship, let's do Six versus Guerrero in the ladder match that in real life happened at Sold Out.
Okay.
Because Six and Guerrero in the semi-main just feels so right to me. Sean Waltman, I'm going to call him Sean Waltman instead of Six, was legitimately the measuring stick for Vince. He said, if you can't have a good match with this guy, I'm just going to have to let you go to multiple guys. And everybody who knows Eddie Guerrero knows that guy is a great wrestler.
Right.
So putting them in the semi-main position here at Starrcade, and honestly, this is it's not the last match, but it's going to be the main match because the end of the show is a trios match without a title on the line. To some degree, you would think that this should go on that, or you could make the argument it could. But I think that the turn from Steiner and the fact that the NWO win and are able to produce their own pay-per-view in the month of January, I think makes it valuable enough to justify it being the main event. But by having Six and Guerrero in the semi-main for the United States title in a ladder match, I think will make the show valuable to people who spent their hard-earned money for the biggest show of WCW's year. So that's why I'm moving the sold-out match forward to Starrcade to help build the storyline between Guerrero and Six going forward, because at Sold Out, I plan on doing stuff that will help emphasize the importance of the match. And so at the Starrcade match, Six wins the United States title in the ladder match because it helps to build the story.
Okay.
So, but tell us, Josiah, what happened at the real Sold Out, January the 25th of 1997?
Well,
was it trash? Because I hear they all rode in on a trash truck. I think they were forewarning us of what the show might be.
Well, they were just trying to warm me up, get the crowd excited,
Right?
Get the energy.
That
up.
way they can crown Miss NWO with a bunch of women who, weren't what you would call
physically fit.
There we go. I like that. That was very polite of you, sir.
Thank you. I try to be respectful, woman. I was raised right. So this is honestly a very long show, so we'll just go ahead and run this down really quick. First match, you had Masahiro Chono versus Chris Jericho. He defeated Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it was a great match.
Yeah, I mean, two very good professional wrestlers.
Exactly.
So no knock on their talent.
No disrespect. Absolutely great guys. Big respect for their work. Next up, you got a Mexican death match with the legendary Mexican wrestlers Big Bubba Rogers and Hugh Morris.
Yes, they're very legendary in the Mexican Lucha Libre style.
Big time. Then you got Jeff Jarrett defeating Michael Wall Street, and then a match that they could have easily had on Nitro.
Or I could have totally seen this match on Superstars with Erwin R. Shyster and I spend my days working hard. Anyway.
Oh, man. Next up, you got Buff Bagwell, not quite the stuff just yet, defeating Scotty Riggs. And then you
It was a strap match, wasn't it? Or is that a
nope,
different
regular single match.
Oh, I must be thinking of the future.
To be fair, I mean, you've seen
And
all
the
the
past.
WCW.
Yeah.
So past, future, it all blends in. Let's see.
Timey-wimey stuff.
Then you got Scott Norton defeating DDP via count out. I'm sure the crowd loved that.
I love both those guys.
Yeah, man. Me too. Brian Chandler didn't have a match, huh?
Well, they don't in my world.
Let's see. Then you got your WCW World Tag Team title match. You got the Steiner brothers defeating the Outsiders. Big title change there. Great wrestlers all around, so I'm sure it was a great match. Speaking of great matches, you got Eddie Guerrero defeating Six, which he just talked about, and a class ladder match. Ah, man. Love that ladder match. Kind of wish it went longer, I'm not going to lie.
For sure.
But of course, they had to give time for that big Hollywood Hogan versus the Giant. No contest. I'm sure the crowd loved that one.
Yeah, everybody was going mild. So, as I pitched at Starrcade, this is the first time ever in my world that the New World Order fights the NWO members. On the night, there are 8 big-time matches. Each match is the NWO proving to WCW that they can do it better. So we open up with the Nasty Boys and the Faces of Fear. The second match is check this out, you're going to love this. Now, granted, when I say what I'm about to say, it is joke. Right?
Okay.
We have Six versus Jeff Jarrett in a Mexican death match. But it's a joke. So Six is making fun of Eddie Guerrero. That's the point of it being a Mexican death match. He's saying, oh, I can beat this NWO member in a Mexican death match to make fun of Eddie Guerrero, the guy he took the United States title from last month.
I get it, because that's a lot better than just having a Mexican death match with 2 American wrestlers, because Conan couldn't do the match. That
Correct.
makes so much more sense.
Right. And so, match 3 is Michael Wall Street with Vincent, managed by Ted DiBiase, versus Big Bubba Rogers and a guy that I'm redubbing Bad John Tenta. So Big and Bad versus
I'm mad at that.
Vincent and Wall Street, managed by DiBiase. To just get the we're changing up. We're having a tag match now instead of that Mexican death match. But it's to show that we have variety in our talent.
We can do more than 2 things. Yeah.
Right, and so that's match 3. I haven't really picked winners in this, but if you do pick a winner, I would say probably I'd put over John Tenta personally. Have him pin Vincent.
Yeah, Vincent can need a loss. That's fair.
Exactly. So match 4, it makes me very happy.
What is it?
So it's PCO versus Jacques Rougeau. And I'm doing it, once again, to that same degree, because this whole show is to illustrate to WCW that we're better than you, right? And so what better way for the amazing French Canadians to prove to WCW that they're superior than to do it together. And so that is personally a match
that's a
I'm
great
a
match, too.
big fan of. So, but match 5, we have the winning team of John Tenta and Bubba Rogers taking on the winning team of the Faces of Fear from the opening match. And the winner of this tag match will take on the tag team champions later on. And so Faces of Fear go over.
Faces of Fear are the tag team champions.
No, I cut that out of the last booking.
My bad.
It's all good.
Alright. Just double check.
Yeah, you're good. So the 6th match, we have Kevin Nash, Big Sexy, taking on Lex Luger. Again, the whole point of tonight is to say, look at what we can do. We got this big, strong, muscular flexing machine and this big, tall 7-footer. It's really not that good of a match, but it's
That's
at
Luger match, so that's fine.
least this match is one of the first where it's like, I don't know if this is going so good. But up next, we've got the Steiner Brothers, the United Steiner Brothers, because of Starrcade, defending their tag team championships against the Face of Fear, a team that has wrestled 2 prior tag team matches, which makes it easy for the Steiners to retain. And then in the main event of the show, sadly, I do not... Wait, let me make sure. Yeah, sadly, I don't give Scott Hall the world title. I try to be as realistic as possible. So, okay, fine. Let's see what's going on next show. See if I can get the.
Yeah, I really want you to
All right, new booking. Doing it on the fly. Scott Hall, winner of World War III, defeats Hollywood Hulk Hogan. and let's be real. Scott Hall deserved a world title.
Definitely.
The guy was so talented.
So good.
All right, so we did it live. We did it here on the show. Scott Hall defeats Hollywood Hulk Hogan in the main event of Sold Out.
Instantly, you have a way more interesting world champion.
Well, not only that, but it really is a good way to showcase the power, the depth, the range of the New World Order. Yeah, diversity. There you go. This is a much better Sold Out show. I tell you what. And oh my goodness, I'm a big
Scott Hall's the world champion. That's all I need to hear.
I'm glad that we did that, sir.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we did that. Thank you for your encouragement.
Oh, of course, spur of the moment. Listen, I'm always going to cheer for Scott Hall.
Yeah,
it's not even a question.
Well, it's funny. I had a select few guys where I was like, God, I really want to push William Regal, but I can't put the world title on William Regal, like, because I'm trying to be realistic, you know, and like. I make some strong decisions later on in the series, but this is a good one. I'm glad we went here. Thank you. All right, let's go to Super Brawl 7.
All right. Well, here's what
February the 25th of 1997. Tell me all about it.
Well, you got a big cruiserweight title match. You got 6 defeating Dean Malenko. Big title change there.
Oh,
big win.
6 in the main the opening match. Not my world, buddy. Not my world.
No. Next, you got a 6-man tag match. So you got Conan.
La Parka.
Right, it's La Park, not LA Park. I had to correct myself. And then you got Villano 4.
Yep.
Let's see. They defeated Ciclope, Juventud Guerrero. I know that one.
Super Calo.
And Super Calo.
I know that because I keep that match.
Alrighty. And then let's see. Next up, you got the WCW World Television Title match. Yeah, you're going to read
Prince Iaukea.
Oh, that's how you spell that?
Prince Iaukea, yep.
Would have never known. Alright, my bad. Prince Iaukea defeating Rey Mysterio.
Jr.
I never looked up how to spell his name.
That's fine, yeah.
Alright, let's see. The next page. Give me 1 second here. Alright. You got DDP defeating Buff Bagwell in a classic disqualification finish. Dub C Dub. Dub C Dub. Dub C Dub. Let's see. United States title match. Eddie Guerrero defeats Chris Jericho. I'm sure that was great. Man. Then you got your another triangle tag match. Okay. Who we got here? We got the Public Enemy. So Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock defeating Harlem Heat with Sister Sherry and the Faces of Fear. And this went 7 minutes. Excellent.
It's so sad.
That's incredible. Man, they really could have shaved some time off this Jeff Jarrett Steve McMichael match with Deborah. Sorry, I forgot about Deborah. Jeff Jarrett obviously won that match. And then you got, what the hell is a San Francisco death match?
They were a big fan of that term, deathmatch. Mexican, San Francisco.
They didn't really understand what death match
They
meant,
certainly do not, no.
Okay.
They do not.
Well, Benoit with woman defeated Kevin Sullivan with Jacqueline. Wait, what? Jacqueline?
Yeah.
I have no
You read that correct.
What?
Yep. So when Kevin lost his wife to Chris, both in reality and in fiction. But in fiction, they bring in Jacqueline to be Kevin Sullivan's new second.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
I love Jacqueline to death. But what?
Yeah. It's fine. They didn't think about it either.
Okay. All right. Well, God forbid I put more thought into it than they did.
Correct.
All right. Then last couple matches here. We got the tag title match. Luger and the Giant defeated the Outsiders with 6. Title change there. And then, of course, Hogan retained against Piper. With DiBiase. All right.
So,
let's get the interesting stuff.
Yes. So, on my Super Brawl card, we open up with Chris Jericho versus Dean Malenko for the Cruiserweight Championship. Because I do not put 6 in the opening match because 6 is still running his feud with Eddie Guerrero, and they are coming up later. So, second match stays the exact same. The trios, Lucha Libre, awesome. Why not? Rey Mysterio versus Prince Iaukea, absolutely keep it. So, what we're doing on match 4 is we're doing a big-time handicap match. It is the Giant versus Lex Luger versus Kevin Nash, and due to our unexpected booking in the prior show, Hollywood Hulk Hogan is the third man. Hey, look
He's
at that.
The third man. Again. Who would have guessed?
He's the third man in this handicap match. So, I have Luger defeating the Giant with the torture rack in the match.
Man, I'd love to see him put that on.
So, next up, we have a Falls Count Anywhere match, not a San Francisco death match, between Chris Benoit and Kevin Sullivan.
So,
yes.
I do have to ask.
Absolutely.
I know logic would dictate that they were, but this is WCW. Were they in San Francisco for this show?
God, I hope so. God, I hope so. Please. If you know that they weren't, just don't tell us. So, match 6 of an 8-match card. I've got not a triangle tag match, but 4 teams, each team in a different corner. It is the Steiner brothers from the New World Order. It is the Faces of Fear from the New World Order taking on 2 WCW teams, Public Enemy and Harlem Heat. Harlem Heat regained the tag team titles in a stunning match because why wouldn't they?
Right, of course.
Freaking awesome team.
That's a lot of talent there.
So, in the semi-main event, and before we get to the semi-main event, which I love, I'm going to let everybody know that Jeff Jarrett and Steve Mongo McMichaels has been moved to TV because it does not need to be on this pay-per-view.
What?
But in the semi-main event, we have 6 defending the United States Championship in a strap match.
Ooh.
Versus Eddie Guerrero, and Eddie Guerrero beats 6 and becomes United States Champion once again. Absolutely. So, in the main event, which again, Eddie and 6 should be in the main event. I apologize. This is twice in a row I've done this to you, but heads up, I'm putting Eddie in the main event here in the future. Woo! In the main event, the 8th match of the night, WCW World Heavyweight Champion Scott Hall is defending against Roddy Piper in what is mostly just an angle because Piper had a bad hip. And Randy Savage joins the NWO in the main event of Super Brawl, helping Scott Hall retain and taking down Roddy Piper. He's one of the very few guys who was ex-WWF who I never put in the New World Order.
I can respect it.
It makes for a better show. Love Scott Hall being in the main event. I love Randy Savage. Piper, he's a great character, but he shouldn't be in the main event at this time. He had health issues. Yeah. But the big thing is we have, Starrcade, Eddie Guerrero 6. January at Sold Out, we keep the story beats going, even though Guerrero's not on the show, but we keep the beats going. And then here at Super Brawl, once again, put him in the semi-main. Eddie gets his title back. Good stuff.
Love to see it.
Join us next week, the last episode of Wednesday Night Wrestling Remix for the month of August. We will be having Tradition versus Counterculture when the NWO and WCW continue to collide.
And it'll be too sweet, brother.